some people are not addicted to the substance. I said it. They're addicted to the relief. Relief from what? From the shame, from the abandonment, from the rejection, trauma, loneliness, the failure, the self hatred, the silence. And the most dangerous part, the most dangerous part, the substance eventually convinces them, yo, you can't survive without me. And yo, that's the deadliest lie addiction ever tells us. Not, yo, this feels good. This is fun. This helps me relax. No. See, the lie becomes, you need me. And once a person believes that they need destruction to survive, they stop fighting back. They give up and they don't fight back. See, I know this because I lived it. I know what it feels like to wake up and hate yourself, to disappoint the people that you love, to promise change and fall all over again, to look in the mirror and not recognize who you've become. And eventually you stop believing that healing is even possible. That's where addiction now becomes spiritual, where it becomes psychological, emotional, and identity based. But tonight, today, right now, we're exposing the lie. Because you're not your relapse. You're not your worst moment. You're not your permanently broken. You're not too far gone. And somebody listening right now is closer to freedom than they even realize. So welcome to the show where chains break, minds wake, and purpose takes its rightful place. This is True Healing and Recovery with Coach Mike Roro. And today we're talking about, you ready? The deadliest lie addiction ever told you. One of the biggest misunderstandings about addiction is people think everybody is chasing pleasure. Many people are simply trying to escape the pain. And guess what? That changes everything. Because now we stop asking, man, why won't they stop using? And we start asking, what pain are they trying to silence? My science folks, you guys that like science, right? What does science show that trauma changes? It changes what? The stress responses, the emotional regulations, the dopamine system, our coping mechanisms. Trauma changes all that, folks. And so when somebody grows up around chaos, violence, addiction, abandonment, emotional neglect, their brain adapts for survival. Sometimes addiction becomes the coping mechanism that temporarily numbs unbearable emotional pain. But temporary relief becomes long-term bondage, folks. Yep. Counterfeit relief always demands more while giving less. See, at first, what does it do? It comforts you, right? It comforts. You feel good. It's comforting. Then, what does it do? It starts to control you. Mm-hmm. And then it goes from comfort to control to now it starts to consume you. Your very essence, everything, it starts to consume, folks. So let's get controversial. You guys ready to get controversial? Because pain is real. Pain is real. Trauma is real. Abuse is real. But eventually, healing requires responsibility, not shame, responsibility. There's a difference. There's a huge difference, man. What does shame say? Shame tells you, "Yo, you're bad. I'm bad, man. I'm a piece of crap." Responsibility says, "I still have power. I still have power." And guess what? That's powerful, folks, because some people become so attached to the wound, they become afraid of healing. I've seen it. Yeah. So why? Why? Because guess what? Pain becomes familiar. Pain becomes all well too familiar with many of us, guys. And healing requires change. Some people don't know who they are without chaos, without toxicity, without the dysfunction, without the crisis. So unconsciously, they recreate destruction because dysfunction feels normal. I always jump to this biblical proverb: do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, that's identity reconstruction, folks. That biblically and psychologically. Yeah, hear me out. Hear me out. Most relapses happen mentally first. People relapse emotionally before physically. What are some warning signs? Let's talk. What are some warning signs of this? What do? They isolate. Isolation. They stop being honest with themselves and others. They stop praying. They stop talking. They stop processing their emotions. They return to old environments. They start to romanticize again on old lifestyles. They, in all reality, they stop renewing their mind. The substance usually comes last. The collapse starts internally first, folks. And somebody listening right now, somebody that is listening, you may not have touched the substance just yet, but mentally you're exhausted. You're slipping emotionally. Hear me out. Reach out to someone before the fall, not after. Not after. See, addiction attacks identity more than behavior. Because if the enemy can convince you that you're worthless, broken, dirty, filthy, hopeless, fake, or just too damaged, too hurt, then eventually you stop believing that you deserve healing. People who hate themselves eventually destroy themselves. That's why true recovery is not behavior modification only, it's identity transformation. I had to learn. I had to learn this. I had to learn I was not my addiction. I wasn't alcohol. I was a hurting man using unhealthy solutions for unresolved pain. That doesn't excuse the damage that I caused. It doesn't excuse none of the damage, but understanding the root helped me stop worshiping the wounds. This matters. This matters. This matters deeply because children absorb what they live around. Psychology proves that children often normalize what they repeatedly witness. What does that mean, coach? That means emotional chaos becomes normal. Manipulation becomes normal. Anger becomes normal. Addiction becomes normal. Unhealthy coping becomes normal. And ladies and gentlemen, cycles continue unless somebody breaks them. Fathers, to all my fathers, all my dads that are listening right now, your healing matters. Your healing matters, B. Your children are watching. They're watching. They're watching how you handle the pain, how you handle stress, anger, how you handle failure, how you handle conflict, and how you handle your responsibility. And maybe nobody taught you how to be emotionally healthy. But that cycle can stop with you. It can. Biblically, it says, fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath. What does that mean? It means don't raise children in constant fear, in chaos, in anger, in instability, in humiliation, or even emotional destruction. I was doing that. And it wasn't too late that I can stop that cycle. Guys, wounded children often become wounded adults. I was one of them. Many of us don't realize how the wounds that we experienced as a child just blossom into who we are and what we're dealing with this moment. Now, I hope I could speak to somebody's life right now. Let me speak life into somebody. You're not disqualified because of your past. There's no future in your past. Your relapse is not greater than the one true living God's grace. Your shame is not greater than healing. Your pain is not greater than your purpose. The fact that you still feel conviction means your heart is not dead. The fact you're listening right now means part of you still wants freedom. And healing does not begin when you become perfect. Healing begins when you become honest. You can rebuild. You can. You can rebuild your mind, your family, your confidence, your peace, discipline, and your purpose. All one day at a time. One day at a time. Why? because another day is another blessing. Come on now. So, if this episode spoke to you, do me a favor. Share this with somebody fighting silently. Please do. Because too many people are dying behind smiles. Too many people are drowning in shame. Too many people believe the lie that they're beyond repair. And guess what? They're not. They're not. So do me one other favor, man. Subscribe to True Healing and Recovery Podcast. Join the Rise and Heal Recovery community over at school. Free coaching, right? Free life coaching, free recovery coaching. And follow the movement. Follow the movement. Be a part of this movement, this community, and share the message, ladies and gentlemen, because we're building more than sobriety. We're rebuilding our identities. And don't ever forget, please don't forget, healing starts with today's decision. Another day, another blessing. Peace.